For most of my life, I didn't know who I really was. I thought I did. But the truth is, I was living in survival mode, fighting a battle I couldn't even name. And when you're stuck in that place, it's so easy to start believing that this is all you'll ever be. But something shifted when I was finally given the right diagnosis and found the right treatment. At 32 years old, for the very first time, I met me. Not the version that was weighed down by mislabels and misunderstandings. Not the version that was only surviving, but the real me. And it felt like a 360 turn on my life. Everything started to change. And for the first time, I could breathe. But here's what I want you to hear today. If you haven't found that version of yourself yet, there is hope. You can get there too. It might take time. It might take trial and error. But don't give up before you get to meet you. Here's the thing. Even before I fully met myself, there were still ways I could reach for glimpses of who I was meant to be. And you can too. And this isn't just for people with bipolar or another mental health diagnosis. We all have moments when life piles on labels, expectations, or pressures that bury who we really are. Maybe it's the stress of work. Maybe it's the roles we carry as parents, partners, caregivers, or friends. Maybe it's the weight of other people's opinions. Whatever it looks like, it's easy to lose sight of the truest versions of ourselves. But here's the good news. Meeting yourself isn't only possible after everything is perfect or fixed. You can begin uncovering little pieces of you right here and right now. For me, those glimpses came in small, almost hidden ways. It was the moments when I laughed so hard my chest ached and I thought, oh, this is what joy is supposed to feel like. It was when I found myself creating, writing, or helping someone else, and I felt a spark, even if it didn't last long. It was when I noticed the things that lit me up, even if the light faded quickly afterward. And I held on to those moments. They reminded me that there was more to me than the constant chaos, more than the heaviness, more than the survival mode. They were proof that the real me was still there, waiting to be uncovered. So, if you haven't fully met yourself yet, I want you to know this. The glimpses matter. Don't overlook them. the laughter that feels lighter, the creativity that feels freeing, the peace you feel for just a breath. Those are all signs pointing you back to yourself. They're reminders that your true self is not gone. They're just waiting for you to meet them fully. And maybe you're wondering, okay, but how do I even start meeting myself right now when I feel so far away from who I want to be? That's the beautiful thing. You don't have to wait until everything is perfect. You can begin right here, exactly where you are. It starts with paying attention. Notice the things that make you feel a little more alive, even if for a moment. What makes you smile without forcing it? What calms your mind when everything feels loud? What brings even the smallest sense of relief or comfort? Then, give yourself permission to lean into those things without guilt, without judgment. Those moments are not random. They are you calling out to yourself, showing you the pieces that matter. And here's something powerful you can try right now. Take a deep breath. Put a hand over your heart and say to yourself, I'm still here. I'm still becoming, and I am worth meeting. Because the truth is, meeting yourself isn't a one-time event. It's a process. It's about choosing to see glimpses of yourself, choosing to honor them, and choosing to believe that the person you are becoming is worth waiting for. So wherever you are today, whether you feel lost, heavy, or disconnected, know this: you can still begin to meet yourself right here, right now, one small glimpse at a time. So let's take a pause right now. If you're in a safe space, I want you to breathe with me. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale slowly. Now, close your eyes for just a moment and picture yourself as the truest version of who you are. Not the exhausted you, not the struggling you, not the one who feels broken or hidden, but the version of you that feels whole, strong, steady, and free. What does that version of you look like? How does it feel to breathe in their skin. Now keep breathing as you imagine it, and let that possibility sink in. That version of you is already inside, and you will meet them. Maybe this is the season where life feels heavy, where every step feels like you're dragging the weight of 1,000 invisible battles, where you wonder if the light will ever break through again. But what if this is also the season where you begin to rise? Not in one dramatic leap, not with everything magically fixed overnight, but slowly, gently, piece by piece, breath by breath. Because rising isn't about perfection. It's about courage. It's about choosing to stand back up, even when your knees are trembling. It's about whispering to yourself, I will not give up here. I am still becoming. And maybe you don't feel strong right now. Maybe you're tired of fighting. But here's what I want you to remember. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes strength is just taking one more breath. Sometimes it's choosing to get out of bed, even when it feels impossible. Sometimes it's asking for help, even when everything in you wants to hide. You don't have to figure it all out today. You don't have to see the full picture of who you are becoming. All you have to do is take the next step and trust that each step is leading you closer to the version of yourself you are always meant to meet. And you are worthy of that version of yourself. You are worthy of joy that doesn't feel fleeting. You are worthy of peace that lasts longer than a moment. You are worthy of breathing freely without the weight pressing on your chest. So give yourself permission to put the weight down just for a while. Let yourself laugh without guilt. Let yourself rest without shame. Let yourself be seen without fear. Because you, right now, in this moment, are enough. Not the fixed you, not the strong you, not the perfect you. You as you are. And even when life feels messy, even when everything feels uncertain, even when your story feels tangled in the chaos, there is still beauty to be found. There is still light breaking through the cracks. There is still a reason to hold on. So as you take your next breath, hold on to this truth. You are not behind. You are not late. The truest version of you is not lost. They are waiting to be uncovered. And when you meet them, you will know it was worth every step, every stumble, every tear. So rise, friend. Rise gently. Rise slowly. Rise in your own way. Because in the middle of all of this, the heaviness, the mess, the unknown, there is hope in the chaos. And as you keep walking forward, hold on to this truth. You are worthy of knowing the truest version of yourself. And even if it feels messy and chaotic right now, there is still beauty. There is still light. There is hope in the chaos. If this podcast has touched your heart, helped you feel less alone, or reminded you that your story matters, please consider becoming a supporter on Ko-fi. I pour my heart into every episode and illustration, and your support helps keep this space going strong. Your donations help cover production costs, support the release of Hope's Journey, and ensure that the messages we share reach more people who need to hear them. If you've ever listened and thought, this is exactly what I needed today, then please know your support can make sure someone else gets that same moment of hope. Whether it's a one-time gift or a monthly tier, every single contribution makes a real difference. Please help donate at ko-fi.com/IamHopeInTheChaos. That is ko-fi.com/IamHopeInTheChaos. I am not a licensed therapist, medical provider, or mental health professional. The experiences, stories, and insights shared in this podcast are based solely on my own personal journey and lived experiences. This content is intended only for educational, inspirational, and support purposes. It is not a substitute for professional, medical, or mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of a licensed mental health professional or healthcare provider regarding your mental health or medical conditions. If you are in crisis or experiencing an emergency, contact emergency services immediately by calling 911 or reach out to the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling 988. And remember, there is hope in the chaos.